Hi, everyone. So it's been 2 weeks of release, and I want to know, did you get a release? Did you release some stuff? Did you let out some gratitude, maybe that had been bottled up? Because even though the word release sort of makes you think you need to let go of bad stuff, you also need to release good stuff too. I shared my story about how I experienced a lightness after I worshiped, which I hadn't done in a long time, just singing around my house and thanking God for the great stuff in my life. And it doesn't have to be so super spiritual either. Like I was at Costco the other day. I don't know if you're like me, but when I go to Costco, I buy way more than I intended. My cart was full. They're really smart to give all those samples out because I buy everything I sample. It always tastes so good. They know that, don't they? Anyhow, this cart was huge and it was hot out. I mean, I do live in Florida. And I was trudging to my car with this heavy cart and getting ready to load it up. And this nice young man came up, unsolicited, and he said, "Ma'am, let me help you with that." And before I could even answer, he started putting all the different boxes and food items and big bulky things into my car. And I just stood there feeling so grateful. And I said, "Thank you. I didn't even ask you. And you just saw me and jumped right in. What's your name?" And he told me his name was Ray. And he said, "Next time you're in, put in a customer comment." And I said, "I sure will do that." And then I realized, Brenda, you will totally forget his name and totally forget this experience in probably 15 minutes. Actually, it's been more than that because I'm telling you about it right now. But I realized it was a moment that I needed to release gratitude right away, because if you miss the moment, sometimes it passes by and the ship sails. So when I got in the car, I said, "Siri, get me Costco." And I talked to his manager. I said, "Look, I just had a great experience. You have a young man who works the parking lot. He obviously puts his all into what he does because I didn't even ask him for help. And he seemed delighted to help me. And he made my day in the process. So I just want to give him some praise. And I hope that you recognize him for his good deed." And it felt good. It felt good to release praise for someone else. Let it out and let it go. One of the things that I've come to in this past year is realizing if it's not serving me in any way, then let it go. Is worrying serving you? Let it go. Is being afraid serving you? Is caring what other people think about you serving you? You can't control it. If you can't control it, why put any energy into it? We're holding on, and I'm preaching to myself here. We hold on to too many things that are just like, weights on our back and balls and chains around our feet. And the reason we do it is we're used to doing it. In certain cultures, worrying is a sign of love. But real love? Oh no, that's the kind that believes all things and hopes all things and endures all things. Not that fears and frets and worries and kvetches about everything. So in our releasing and in our letting go, remember to let go of those things which no longer serve you and have perhaps never served you. And you'll find that your load is a little bit lighter. And you know why? You know why you should do that? Because you deserve it. If you love yourself, why would you hold on to something that doesn't do you any good? Doesn't make any sense. So it's time to love yourself a little bit more and release the things that don't do you any good. So I wonder what our next word is for the next 2 weeks. I'm saying a prayer for all of us, asking for wisdom and guidance as I put my hand into the bag. And the answer is, wow, that goes right along. The word is strength. And if you're feeling weak, maybe it's because you're putting your energy into some things that are not serving you. Maybe you're spending time with energy vampires. You know those people? They suck up the air all around you. You say something good and they think of the 10 things that could be wrong with it or might go wrong with it. You know, the opposite of strength is weakness. And one thing we can control is what we give our energy to. So if we are feeling weak, let's look at what we're investing our time in. Are we spending it worrying and fretting? I currently have some huge projects on my plate, and they're important ones, and I put my heart and soul into them every year. It comes around every year this time, and for every year I have consumed myself, had sleepless nights, and panic attacks about pulling this particular project off. And I decided that didn't do me any good. And then I remembered and realized that every year, no matter how much I kvetched and moaned and got crazy about it, it always worked out. And it always got done. So my new mantra is, this project is going to be awesome and it's all going to work out great. And saying those things to myself gave me strength. We need to encourage ourselves based on the track record of past experience. And even if it didn't work out, did it end the world? No. So I am saying to myself, everything is working out for me. And that makes me feel strong on the inside. I think it also energizes all the unseen forces around me too. So if you're feeling weak, check what you're spending your energy on. And also check what's going on up here. What are the stories you are telling yourself about your life? About your to-do list, about your relationships. I read something beautiful recently. It said, what you think about a thing creates its reality. So why not think beautiful thoughts about your job, about your friendships, about your relationships, about your family, about your finances, about your hopes and dreams. Think beautiful thoughts about your body. And you will find yourself getting stronger and stronger. Strength. What a great word for the next 2 weeks. I look forward to hearing how you are getting stronger every day.